There are a lot of us at certain times in our life where we receive messages from people in regards to the future. And at the time, we don't understand why you're being told this. Sometimes the spiritual message is not sent directly from the Creator through meditation and prayer. Sometimes there are signs, and sometimes those messages may come from random strangers or a coworker or something like that, out of the blue. And that person might not know you from a can of paint, or if they know you, they might not know your situation. But on some random day, they might speak on your situation and don't even realize you're going through it. They have no clue. That's spirit working. And I've had this happen to me on numerous occasions. And I reflect back during my most troubling times in my life. And remember seeing these people. Sometimes there were strangers that would approach me in the store and would just say something so profound. And I said to myself, what is this? Then later on I realized that was spirit trying to work through them to get to me, because at the time I didn't have that connection with spirit. I was still working of this world and dealing of this world, and I didn't have that connection. So the only way that the Creator could get through to me was to go through the vessels that I dealt with on a worldly basis. And that included people. And that's the way it is for a lot of you. So, and in all these cases, of course, I ignored it, I let it go. But now that I know what I know, I reach back on it now and I'm like, okay, you know what? The Creator's been chasing me a long time, trying to get me to do what I've been doing, for the past year with you guys for a long time. We're talking about at least a decade or more. Been wanting me to speak my truth and share my truth with people for a long time. But I was so stuck in my head because I was programmed to be less than. Okay? Programmed to think that there were other people that were more important than me, and that I had a certain place in a certain relationship, and that I'm only supposed to say so much, and because of my sex, and because of my this and my that, because of my so-called status, labels placed on me and everything else, I didn't share anything with anybody because my self-esteem was so low. I didn't think anybody wanted to hear what I had to say, and that's the truth. Now, of course, the people that are part of my life, they might hear this and say, oh, she's having a pity party. That's not true. And they might want to come out and talk about it. Y'all be aware of these folks, because these were the players in the game, okay? They took part of that. But I digress. There are a whole lot of us have run into those people. Told us something profound, showed us something profound, gave us some kind of opportunity or some kind of life skill, exposed us to another way of thinking. And they were only in our life for a short period of time, because that's what their purpose was. And we have to understand, just because somebody gives us that gift, that doesn't mean they're going to be around forever. That was their job to do, and they did it, and they have to move on. So the thing is when you finally do get the message and you finally do understand, the hardest thing is putting into practice what's being predicted. Now, I shared with you guys before that it was predicted that life was going to change for me to the point where I'm just not going to have time to cater to people who haven't poured into me. And I've said this in numerous audios before that, it has nothing to do with revenge. It's just part of an orchestrated plan where once you are on a path to complete a mission, you can't be distracted by old bullshit. You can't be distracted by old, stuck and stubborn attitudes, and people who don't get it, people who aren't enlightened. So when they try to come to you and try to infuse themselves in your life, even if it's just for 5 seconds, those 5 seconds you might have your energy focused on something else, and that's just the truth. And for a lot of us, it's hard, it's easier said than done. It really is. It really is. I came into a situation recently if somebody close to me wanted to get involved in something, some kind of event or something that it was. And at the time, I just couldn't do it. I did other things. And the reason why I was doing other things was because it goes way back to the fact that when I was available and didn't have a purpose and had all this extra time and energy to give to this person, they didn't want it. And the little bit that did get, they weren't thankful for it. As a matter of fact, they had this attitude that I was in the way. It only takes, look, you keep kicking the dog out, the dog's going to die or the dog going to bite your ass, one of the two. I'm the dog that's going to bite you. I'm the dog that's going to bite you. I ain't going to let you kick me and make me die. So, when I see that you don't want, if you're not interested in what's going on with me, or you disconnected, or you don't want to be around me anymore, fine. I'm not going to confront you or anything. I'm just going to start pulling my energy back and putting it somewhere else. And your importance to me is just going to get lower and lower down the list. I mean, it's only common sense. So, for a split moment, I felt kind of bad about it. I was like, dang, if only this, if only that, I would have gone. But see, the thing is that I look back on it now. I wasn't supposed to go. I was not supposed to go, because Spirit knew that ain't nothing's changed and ain't shit gonna come out of it. You would have been wasting your time. It would have been the same old, same old. How you going to sit here and ask for me for all these changes and blessings, and you want everything to be totally different if you ain't acting totally different when it comes in regard to these people? So no, I'm going to give you something else to do. There's going to be a time conflict. There's going to be availability conflict, and it's going to be that way until. Recently, I heard about somebody going through some physical and emotional and mental issues. And this person I was connected with for a very long time. And I heard some bad news about it. But because of time and availability conflicts, I can't give no energy to nothing like that right now. Sometimes you really got to put into practice. You got to let shit play out.